There's been a corn mill at Heron Mill, Beetham, since as far back as 1220 AD. It was substantially rebuilt in the early or middle 19th century and remained operational until 1958, since when it's been derelict. It got its name because the trees surrounding it were the haunt of the naturalist's favourite, the heron. But they didn't take too kindly in later years to the noise of the water wheel, and they deserted for quieter pastures, or should it be reeds, long since. Today, the old mill stands on the west bank of the River Beela, close to the busy A6, and is regarded by experts as one of the finest examples of a remaining water-driven corn mill still possessing its original machinery. 100 years ago, there were 70 water mills in South Westmoreland. Today, just 3. So it was felt that some attempt should be made to preserving one of them. The first feasibility study was made by consultant Kenneth Major. So, I wonder what your first reactions were when you came to do the study on the mill.
One of complete enthusiasm. I walked through the door at first floor level and immediately realized that this should be preserved at all costs. The very nature of the woodwork supporting the millstones, the so-called Hurst frame, there's an element of uniqueness in that really justifies its preservation. And the moment I saw that, I realized one must go, one could say, hell for leather to get it preserved. It's important in the original historical arrangement in relation to the natural rock weir on the River Beela, and again the way the water has been taken from this mill pond on the river into the water wheel, possibly about 1850, and then the way the power is taken from the water wheel up to the millstones on the first floor, and the way the mill has developed from that, the additional method of cleaning the meal and producing good flour, and the way in which the oats were dried in the very fine kiln on the west side of the mill, and again going up into the roof story where there are no bins but just purely sack storage and very fine sack hoist and so on.
Comparatively fairly sophisticated machinery.
Sophisticated machinery in the drive from the water wheel to the Hurst frame, though the Hurst frame contains the original gearing possibly of 1800.
What sort of money is it going to cost to put this back in the order to make it a
I would have thought
museum?
that its immediate preservation, making the building safe, available to the public, necessary toilet accommodation, something like £20,000, a further 10,000 needed to get the mill working, able to produce flour for souvenir sale, one could say.
So now a charitable trust has been formed to raise the necessary £30,000, which it's estimated it'll cost over 2 years to rebuild the mill and get it ready for the tourists. Apart from the obligatory car park, they plan a tea bar and a souvenir stall. Officially, it's a museum of Lakeland life and industry, and the authorities have given the idea the seal of approval, confirming it's of archaeological and historical importance. A volunteer force from the factory opposite have made a start cleaning the mill, but there's a long way to go, and it's going to take some time before the tourists have another Lakeland spot to visit. But it's not solely for the tourists. The mill's to be restored to working order, and the trustees hope that it will again grind corn and serve as an example of a typical northwestern corn mill and a rather unusual education centre.